Hello. Alright, so as you guys can see, today's going to be my review on the Rare Beauty Foundation. I have already been using it, so this isn't a first impressions, but it is going to be a review over my thoughts in general. I also have the primer here as well, and I guess we'll just get started with that. This primer is actually really a nice primer. It's more of like a creamy moisturizer type finish, and it has this little bit of like a pearl. I don't know if you guys can see, but this is a type of product you could put on even if you don't have, or if you're not gonna wear foundation that day, because it just gives your skin this like really nice glow. It kind of reminds me of if you've ever used like the MAC strobe cream, it's kind of like that, but a little bit thicker, like a little bit more creamy. Now I'm gonna go in with the foundation, and my color is 210 neutral. You do have to shake it up really, really well. Shake it like a Polaroid picture. And it has like this doe foot, more like a buck foot applicator. And I'm just going to fire it on. And as you can see, I am breaking out a bit down here. So we'll show you how much this foundation can cover. Thank you! Now, the claims are that this is more of a medium buildable coverage. And I found that to be pretty true. Medium coverage. Not super full coverage. You can build it up to a point. It doesn't ever get like crazy full. It's not like Kat Von D or like Huda or anything like that. But it does give a good amount of coverage. I noticed that it does kind of set down more on the matte side. So it's nice that her primer is kind of more creamy and illuminating because it gives that hydrated base for the foundations. Okay, now the foundation has set down for about a minute, so I'm going to go in and add a little bit more. And because this is my personal foundation, I am going to go directly in from the doe foot onto the spot where I need a little more coverage there and there. I'm also going to add some down my neck, just because I shaved earlier. And now I'm a little bit red in those areas. And I'm also going to add a little bit more here on the sides of my nose, because this is a trouble area for me. Yeah, there we go. So I'm going to let this area set down while I blend this out. And it is important, not just for me because I'm a man and I have, facial hair, but for anyone who is wearing foundation, please blend it all the way down your neck so that there's no line of demarcation. There's no distinct line where your makeup is and then where the rest of your body is. Unless you're going for that look specifically, then by all means. Okay, so now that this is set down, we're going to go in with the Beauty Blender and just gently top it out. Not really going too crazy. Now I'm using the clean edge to blend around the edges. Can you all see what I'm doing? Here, I'll zoom in on this. There we go. So first thing you do is you tap it out with the fat end. Like that. Now I'm going in with my side that has less product, and I'm using that to blend out the edges. And this is fine for me. It's not like totally erased, but it's even enough for me to feel comfortable. So I appreciate that. And it's not a super heavy looking foundation. It's not cakey. From my experience, it is very long wearing. You know, I wore it all day for work, a full 8-hour shift, and it lasted all day. It's not super transfer resistant. So if you're looking for like a, one that you could take your mask off and still have it on, then I wouldn't necessarily recommend this foundation. It's not like it rubs off quickly. It's just that it's not like a transfer resistant type of formula. Now, if you are looking for transfer resistant, I would recommend to do the NARS, the Soft Matte Complete. And I will do a review on that foundation coming up after this. So stay tuned. But yeah, to continue with this, now that I have foundation on, we'll zoom back out. Now that we have foundation on and blended, I'm going to go in with concealer. And yes, I already have my clear primer down, and I like to do that because it helps to like reinforce the base of the eyeshadow. And now I'm going to go over my whole eye area with concealer. I am using the Pat McGrath concealer, and I'm in the shade LM8. Which is a little bit lighter than my skin tone, which is great because I like to highlight. And we're just going to be putting this now. I'm going to set with powder. And so Rare Beauty doesn't really have a traditional powder. I don't have her little powder puff thing. That's what she has. She actually, so I guess in her line they recommend not setting with powder in general. I do like to set my liquid makeup with a powder, so I'm going to be going in with the Flawless Airbrush in medium, number 2. And I'm just taking that on my this is a little like under eye brush from KVD. And look at how much I've used this powder, you guys. This is a really good powder. So I'm just taking that. Let me make sure my under eyes are blended. There's no creases. Alright. Now, number 2 is a little bit like tan for my under eyes, but it's the only one I have right now, so I make it work. Now I'm going to be going in for the perimeters of my face with the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Bronzer. This is also in the shade number 2. This is a really, really pretty bronzer, you guys. Since we're still here at the face, I'm going to go ahead and apply some blush. This is She's So LA from Patrick Ta. And I'm just going to go in with the powder side. This one right here. This is a really beautiful color, you guys. It's kind of like it's like a bronzy rose color. It looks brown in the pan when you see it. It looks like it's just a brown blush. But once you put it on, you see that the rosiness kind of comes out of it. It's really beautiful. And all of his face products have like this little bit of a sheen. It's not like shimmery, but it does have a little bit of like a glowiness, which is really pretty. And the way that he does it is he actually puts the powder first and then he goes in with the cream on top. We're not going to be going in with the cream today just because that's not the look that I'm going for. But in the next tutorial, maybe we will. I will show you how to do that. Now, this is just such a pretty color. Look at how cute that is. I'm going to just blend everything in again one more time. This is my brush I use to set my under eyes, but with no additional product. Just kind of tapping over the edges, the apples of the cheeks right here. And then right here along the forehead as well. So now we have the blush on, and I'm going to set under my eyes so that I don't have any fallout while we're doing them. And I'm just using my Anastasia Translucent Loose, and I'm taking it on my Velour Puff from Laura Mercier. And I'm just using the put that right up under my eye. And I know this might seem like a lot of powder, but it's necessary. And I'm also going to take it down the sides of my nose just a bit. Okay, now we're going to get started on these eyes, the ojos. Oh, well, I guess we're not really focusing on this because this is more about the foundation, but just so y'all know, I am going to be using my Divina eyeshadows. This is the collaboration that they did with Angeshka, and I'm probably going to be using more of these like purpley tones down here, and I might dip into this blue color a little bit, but yeah. Alright, so this is the final look. My AC is broken and I have already been sweating a little bit and it looks really nice. Now I did put a little bit of extra highlight. I topped off everything with a little bit of this Makeup by Mario Master Crystal Reflector in Citrine, which is just the gold one, and I went ahead and just top that over everything just to give me a little bit of extra something. Y'all have a great rest of your day or night, whatever time you are, wherever you are, and please check back again. And I love you. It's been real.